My name is Catherine Miller. I'm a nurse and a mother, and I became involved with the Emmanuel Orphans Development Association in Ethiopia. I was visiting Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, visiting some friends, and a friend of mine had told me the story of a man who had let 43 orphan children into his yard. And so I was introduced to Job in 2005, and when I met him, he was living in a very small house, and there was an outbuilding outside of his house, and all of these kids were sleeping in one room on the floor, a dirt floor. None of them were in school, no shoes, in rags. They had worms, scabies, lice. Their health was terrible. But the amazing thing to me was these kids told me that they felt lucky. They felt lucky because they were safe inside of his house at night. Those kids, the images, those kids stayed with me. And I came back to the United States, formed a nonprofit called Children of the World, and ended up going back to Ethiopia, and we built an orphanage. We provide medical care, we put them in school, we buy uniforms for them. I now spend 6 months of each year in Ethiopia, and I am directly involved with the orphanage. I help hire staff, train teachers, go down and negotiate the best deal on clothing in the Mercado. Right now in Ethiopia, if you're orphaned, only 22% of the children attend school. You have no ability to attend school, and if you've lost both your parents, you're already outside of society, and if your parents died from HIV/AIDS, there's a stigma attached to you. So having these children go to school not only breaks that cycle of poverty, but it makes them feel a part of society. The only source of funding that we have is through Children of the World within the United States, and it's all done through private donations. We have no corporate sponsorship at this time, other than we have just, thank God, we have just gotten on board with Angels in the Dust is a documentary film, and there's the Ubuntu bracelets, and the sale of those bracelets, we're getting some proceeds, and they have been very generous in donating to us. Other than that, it's simply private donations. If someone wanted to volunteer or to donate, they can go to our website. It's www.childrenoftheworld.info. You can donate through PayPal, or there's an address that you can send a donation. I want people to realize that we're a very, very small organization, and we work directly with the children. I think that the problem can be just overwhelming to many of us when you think about the number of orphans and vulnerable children in the world. But I don't like to think about it that way. I like to remember what Mother Teresa said. And she said, "We can do no great things, only small things with great love." And I believe very few of us will ever be rich and famous or powerful and really change the world in a massive way. But we can do small things with great love. For $61 a year, any one of us can put a child in school, buy them a second set of clothes in the form of a school uniform, buy them little notebooks and pens, a pair of flip-flop shoes, provide after-school program that allows them to meet in groups with other children that have lost parents through HIV/AIDS, life skills training. There's 5,000 children that don't have access to school, that are orphaned and vulnerable in the village I work in. My hope is today that 5,000 people will give $61 a year, and every one of those children will have the hope of a better future and have access to school.